Hey all. Okay, so as you can see, I've had my hairdresser appointment. It's going to take some getting used to. I probably would have myself had it straightened. I'll probably do that actually when I go up the stairs, is straighten it off, because I don't like the way it's sitting. I really could have asked her to straighten it while I was there, but you know, having anxiety, you don't necessarily like speaking up and saying these things. So it's completely undercut here at the back as well and shaved in. Quite breezy. But I am happy with it. You can see I've got some colour through it as well. Plum, purple. So I managed to go to the hairdresser appointment myself, which was a big achievement for me alone. Very nerve-wracking. I sat outside it for about 45 minutes before actually going in. Most of the time I kind of need to prepare myself before actually going into something. So I'll maybe show up, unless I'm with someone, I'll maybe show up about 45, 30 minutes earlier than normal. Just for the simple fact I need to mentally prepare myself to do it. The appointment wasn't until 5 o'clock, and I literally spent the morning pacing. I had my shoes and everything on for 3 o'clock, and I spent the rest of the time pacing the house. That's why I tend to try and get appointments early in the morning, so I'm not waiting around and pacing about. And so yeah, massive achievement being able to go to this appointment alone. Nerve-wracking enough because of the new hairstyle, but you know what it's like yourself when you get a new hairstyle, especially if you've never had it before, and you know it's different. You don't know if you're going to like it. I do like it. This bit here, the long at the front, I don't know if I'm too sure on. Maybe I'll feel better once I have it straightened. But I do like the shaved feeling at the back. It's quite breezy though, but it's going to be good for uni. Obviously with all the running about that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be easier to maintain. If it gets in the way, it would really just be a matter of tying it back. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long I stick it with and whether or not I just take the rest of it off. I don't know yet. We'll see. My partner actually stated that it reminds her of Velma from Scooby-Doo. So she actually wants me to take a photo when I go in with my glasses on, just to see how it looks. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I got my message from the university today to state that I am now through admissions. Now results day has been. I knew I had the place anyway, but obviously I had to wait till results day for the uni to receive my results. So that's me officially through admissions, and I'm on to enrollment. I'm excited about it, but I'm getting really anxious about it now. You know, the usual anxious thoughts. Am I going to be able to do this? What if I mess up? What if I take a panic attack in the middle of the ward? You know, it's stupid things going through my head. Am I going to be able to do blood pressures? What about when it comes to putting cannulas and that? Am I going to be able to do that? You know, CPR, I know how to do CPR, but when you're doing CPR on a test dummy, it's kind of different from doing it in a person. In the test dummy, you kind of know how far you're pushing down because of the mechanics of it, but like, how do you work out so many centimetres on a person's body? To know how far you're pushing down on an actual person's body. I suppose these are questions that if I pluck up the courage I can ask my lecturer in the class. But it's stupid things like that running through my head it's kind of putting me off. I'm sitting thinking, what the hell have I done? Why have I done this to myself? Why did I even bother with this? But it's something I really want to do, and I know it's going to be hard. I know I'm going to have times where I'm going to be, right, I can't do this, I'm packing it in. But I probably won't. This is just my anxiety making me overthink, and if you've got anxiety, you know what the overthinking's like. It's stupid things that you don't need to worry about because they will teach you it all. It's so the only other dilemma I've got is I received my response back from my ESA assessment, and I've been put in the limited capacity work related group. So basically I don't need to hand any more sick lines in, and they won't ask me to look for a job and whatnot. But it's not clear whether I can keep this going while I'm in uni. I've tried looking about, and from what I can gather, if you're contribution based ESA, you can keep your ESA going, but if you're income related, you can't. But then there's conflicting information out there stating you can only keep your ESA if you already got disability living allowance, which I'm still waiting on a reply from. So there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and honestly they really need to be a lot more clearer on the do's and don'ts for these benefits, because you could be committing fraud and you don't even know it. So I'm going to wait till nearer the time, and I'll see if the university can give me advice on this. As far as I know, the university should have a student liaison that will be able to tell you whether or not what benefits you can keep and things like that. If I need to come off ESA, then I need to come off ESA. There's not much that can be done about that. But the thing is, because it took so long for them to actually sort out my benefits, I'm only just starting to get it, which is quite annoying. Obviously it's backdated, but to be put into that group and then a couple of weeks later tell them that I'm coming off it because I'm going into education, it literally makes me look as though I'm taking the piss when that's not the case. That's kind of my thinking. I mean, I still satisfy the conditions of being in that group. I still struggle to leave the house without someone accompanying me, although that has got better in the past few weeks since being with my link worker. And kind of pushing myself. But I still have a lot of issues with, keeping tabs on my medication and things like that. And fear of overdoses and things like that. There's still a lot that I've got going on that will satisfy the assessment, even for the DLA, but it is hard to stay on these kind of benefits when you're studying, which I think is bull praise, basically. Because being in education, It's a lot that they can provide me support in there so I can get through it. Whereas in the workplace, you're not going to get that kind of support. You know, it's workplaces don't give a damn. You're a number to them. Whereas in education, they've got the inclusion. So they need to kind of help you with your problems, especially mental health problems. So I have sent all my registration for the support and inclusion team and my link worker approved by the mental health nurse my letter of evidence. So I've sent that back to them. So I'm just waiting on an update from the support and inclusion team for the unit and waiting on my enrollment team getting in touch. Normally they say enrollment opens about 3 weeks before university actually starts. So it's not quite open yet. I went on to check and it's not open yet, so I need to wait on that coming through hopefully soon. So that's another thing I'm not sitting pondering over and, you know, just overthinking. It'll be out the way then. And so yeah, that's all my updates so far. So like I said, big step for me, being able to go to this hairdresser appointment myself, especially because I had to sit for 30 minutes and wait for the colour to go, and it was quite busy. I just kind of pulled my phone out, played some Pokemon Go. They offered me a cup of tea, so I had a cup of tea as well. I just tried to busy myself with my phone on my Pokemon Go, catching Pokemon. It was really difficult. Kind of sitting there getting the dizzy spells and, you know, finding it hard to breathe and, you know, trying to mask that so people don't see it either is not an easy task either. A couple of times, you know, they asked, "Are you alright?" And it's like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, and I'm sitting there thinking about these CBT techniques that they teach you, and, you know, it's not easy to apply them when it's happening. And the ones that you can apply, I don't find works. So, I'll talk about CBT on a separate video that I've got planned. So I've got a separate video planned, just basically covering my anxiety as an individual, and my causes of my anxiety and things like that. And there'll be a bit about CBT and all that in there as well. So yeah, as you can see, I'm coming out in red welts because of my anxiousness. I'm pretty sure you'll all be familiar with that if you suffer from anxiety. So yeah, that's my update for today, and I'll speak to you all soon.